Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm gonna be continuing assembling this 113 movement here. So I use this System 32 grease. You can also use this kind of grease as well. And I use synthetic clock oil. Nye is really good stuff. You can use Nye as well. Okay, so you can use some brush or mascara stick, and you can just get as much as you need. Don't use too much. So what I went ahead and did was I installed these posts here, and we can center them later. You can center it once you're about to finalize things. So I put that on already. Now I also put this on. This is your actuator for the strike, which is supposed to go underneath, under that lever there. You want to make sure you put grease in between here and there, and you want to make sure you put a little bit of oil underneath that post. Now get your grease brush, and this is your first one you want to put on the hammer for your strike, and there's this little tip right there. You want to put grease right on the bottom of it right here, so that way when you can see it, that way when it engages on in between this actuator, it's doesn't have as much friction. Now this post here, you're supposed to put oil as well, so I use synthetic. You just put a couple drops and spread it across. That's fine. You can spread it, get all the excess oil off, just so it has a little bit of lubrication. Now you put this one first. It has to go over. So it's actuating. There's supposed to be a little pin there. You can use a little copper wire and twist it around. That's what I like to do. Now you're supposed to put washers in between. One washer in between each one, and the last one you're supposed to put two washers. They look like this. So one there, and then your next hammer. That's one. You can also mark them so that way you know which one came out in what order. So this is number 2. You want to make sure you put another washer there, number 2. Another washer. Number 3. Another washer. And then number 4. And then 2 washers. So one and 2. And then your music wheel, see, goes right here. Make sure that you lubricate the bottom of that pivot right there, either through the inside or somehow get oil in there, either on the pivot or in that hole. We're gonna do that later, like so. Then you put the bridge on top. This bridge it only goes in one direction. That's your oil sink right there. Hold on a second. Oil sink is right there, so you can't put it in this way. You gotta put it in this direction. Line up the pivot, snap it on the bridge, check for end shake too. It's not too tight. See? Someone had put the wrong washer on there, so I'm replacing it. Use these screws with the thick heads. Short. Okay, so now that's done. We're gonna put a little pin or a copper wire like so. See? Twist it around so it doesn't come off. Like, you can do it in an S shape if you like. Probably a good idea. Like that. And then next we want to put on the pallet or the verge. How do you do it? You want to make sure that bridge is not installed. This is the bridge I'm talking about. That's for your front pivot. Now there's a difference, either this way or that way. No, not really actually. You can use it. Yeah. So first you want to line it, run it through like that, and then turn it around. Leave it hanging there. Now you can turn these, put these feet on the other side of the bridge, like that. Okay. Now we're gonna put on this bridge here. Pallet bridge. Now it's adjustable. The depthing is adjustable. Goes right there. This has a special screw from all the other ones. You can also use this, which is a really handy tool. It's a screw holding screwdriver. Now you don't torque it with it, you just use it to hold it and just thread on the first few turns. See, that way it doesn't fall. And you can mark that bridge before you take it off so you can know the location of it. Otherwise you have to play with it up and down to find out the proper depthing. Now I'm gonna make sure that the pivots line up. on both sides. Now be very careful not to bend anything. Okay. Line up the rear pivot first and let it just sit there, and then put the bridge on. Line up the top pivot. And then you could adjust it after. If it does that, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. That means it's not, the depthing is where it should be. Now you may need to go up or down a little bit, but let's put it there for now. Torque it. Okay. Are you there? Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is put these barrels on. This is your chime barrel, the biggest one. You can mark it if you want to with a C for chime, T for time, and S for strike. So chime goes on the right side, far right. T for time, in this orientation. You can put it doesn't matter which one you put on first, as long as you put them all there. And then this plate goes on top of that. Now make sure you lubricate under the screw and behind this, on top of the spring. Also, and this spring on the inside, right there where it connects to the click, this is an unusual spring for a click. Whereas these ones are exposed, these ones are on the inside. So you need a little bit of drop of oil there, a drop of oil behind, on top of the spring, and on underneath the screw. I'm not gonna do the oiling now, except for these. I should do it. And this goes on like so. Okay, now remember we use these short head screws. Okay, for these 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these ones use the short fat head screws. Okay. Come on, stabilize. There we are. Okay. Now we're not gonna torque them all the way until we line up. First we gotta line up all this screws.